So every Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning will be Polly's Chinese typing lessons or practice sessions. Good. I think I'm getting better and better typing Chinese, but it's still very challenging. And there's nothing more or new to say in addition to the announcements we've already made yesterday. So we'll go ahead and start with the rest of the congestion control approaches. So we talked about the end-to-end approach. Okay, we overviewed the end-to-end approach yesterday. So it was almost like, it's a little bit weird, right? Having my head at the top in the meantime, another Polly's head in the Google session. So why don't I turn the video off until we'll start working on quiz 26. So let me turn that off. Yeah, so the end-to-end approach is almost like, if you recall quiz 25, right? The Uber driver will need to wait until he gets to the airport. Okay, finally he get off the cart, then he can start texting. So it's the situation where the regulation is so strict. As long as the driver is in the car, the eyes cannot be off the streets. Okay, so the end-to-end approach is almost like that. When we are in the middle of the traffic already, no notifications coming from in the middle of the network. Okay, so it's the end-to-end approach. The second one is the network assisted approach. Then will be the approach that you guys were all talking about, right? As soon as you run into congestion, you start texting people, you start radio telling other drivers.
The network assisted approach. Okay, so in this approach, routers will be doing the congestion detection. But how? Well, we also need to observe something, but this time we could actually observe something that's very directly related to congestion. This, the queue size. Okay, so this is the queue of these packets gathering at the entry point of the route. Okay, so congestion is this: sources of the traffic sending data too much too fast into the network. Inside the network, we have these routers, right, handling packet forwarding. If the outgoing rate is slow and incoming rate is high, then these packets will need to what? Be buffered temporarily, okay, at the entry point of these routers. Okay? Therefore, they get a chance to wait for their turn to go out on the outgoing link. If the outgoing rate is slow, incoming rate is high, queue gets long, and free buffer space gets small. Right? So queue size or free buffer space, okay, changes of these, okay, are good indications of congestion occurring. Now, routers, however, are the devices in the middle. Okay, how do the routers inform the sources so that the sources know that they need to serve them? And this is the way it's done. Okay, so there are these bits, special bits, okay, inside the packets. So when these packets travel through a router, and the router is so busy, queue size is so big, or free buffer space is so small, these bits get turned on. And when the packets arriving at the receiver, receivers can check these flags or check these bits and then inform the source of the data, the sources of the packets. Now, in internet, okay, the Tcp Ip Protocol Suite, okay, yeah, let me explain. Yeah. TCP is actually a transport layer service, okay, but sometimes we also call the transport layer the TCP layer. IP is actually a network layer protocol, and therefore, sometimes we actually refer to the network layer as the IP layer. So TCP/IP here is actually referring to the internet protocol stack because the transport layer is running TCP. The network layer is running IP. So these two are the very typical classical protocols that are running, okay, supporting the operation of the internet. So in TCP/IP or in internet, we have these special bits, and we call them the explicit congestion notification bits. So when the router inside the internet, the queue size gets large enough or the free buffer space gets small enough, we set the ECN bits on. And therefore, the receiving end, the TCP receiver there, seeing the ECN bits on can inform the source to send them. Now, that is how the routers in network-assisted approach detect congestion and notifying the source of the congestion. What's nice about this approach is this: routers there observe exactly how much free space there is. and dividing by the number of flows that's going through, number of connections that's going through. Hey, routers can also be more explicit, telling the receiver to inform the source. Now, set the sending rate to this size. Set your sending window size to a particular size, such that we will not be overwhelming the router buffer space. Just like the flow control mechanism, right? Receiver there observing the receiving buffer, depending on how much is free, set the sending window size accordingly. Voila, problem solved. Receiving buffer will never be overwhelmed. Similarly, the router's receiving buffer here will never be overwhelmed.
All right, so that was the end of the two approaches, generally for congestion control. But you see that in either approach, we did not specify exactly how the end estimates the rate, right? Or the router estimates the rate. So that's here out in one example, which is TCP exactly, how TCP estimate the sending rate, okay? Depending on the delay of the ACK coming back, depending on whether a packet is detected being dropped. So first, let's hear out TCP's AIMD mechanism.
And we'll take a look at an example of an end-to-end based approach, TCP's congestion control mechanism. And TCP does it this way. The sender will increase the sending rate gradually if there are no packet losses detected. But as soon as there's a packet loss, we drop sending rate drastically. So point number one here, packet loss is used as an indication of network congestion in TCP. Point number two, TCP is actually implementing a trying, failing process to discover what is the proper sending rate. Now, by sending rate here, I'm adjusting. In TCP, it's implemented this way by changing the sending window size. You see that sending window size is a limiting number of bytes we can send out within one round trip time. Therefore, increasing the sending window size is increasing the sending rate. All right, the exact process of doing the trying and failing is called the additive increase multiplicative decrease, or AIMD to be short. So, AI describes the increasing process of the sending rate. So this is done by setting the window size and such that it increases one packet per round trip time. And the decreasing part is this cutting the window size to half of it after detecting a packet loss. So you see, the increasing part is slow and linear. The decreasing part is drastic, multiplicative. So additive increase, multiplicative decrease. Okay? Linear increase, multiplicative decrease. So if I show the sending window here over time, we'll see when there are no losses, the window size is going to grow linearly. As soon as we hit the loss, we drop the window size drastically to half of it. So additive increase, multiplicative decrease. So each of these AIMD episodes looks like a sawtooth. And that is why people often say TCP's window size change over time shows a sawtooth behavior. One thing I want to add is this. We say we increase the window size by one packet per round trip time. The TCP sequence size is counting data by bytes. Window size is therefore also counting the maximum amount of data we could send out by bytes. So what do we mean by increasing the window size by one packet? That doesn't make sense. How do we implement that? Yeah, so the fact in the implementation, what's being done is to increase the window size by one maximum segment size. Okay, so MSS here, if it's configured to be 1460 bytes, then the window size is incremented by 1460 if there's no loss detected within a RAM. And this is actually related to the second point I want to stress. Yeah, you see here, the full name of the sending window is no longer WND. It's actually called the congestion window size, CWND. Because the sending window size is dynamic in TCP, and it's actually controlled by the congestion control mechanism. That's why the window is now referred to as the congestion window. And this is TCP's process of trying to probe and discover the available bandwidth. Now let's bring up the diagram we used to explain TCP. Now it's counting bytes. Now each of these is what? A byte. If we'll be generating a new packet, then we'll be using the byte stream number here as the sequence number of the new packet. So what you're seeing here is I'm updating the diagram such that this term here is no longer WND, the sending window size. We are now calling it the congestion window size, because this here, okay, CWND is dynamic. It can be large or small. It's no longer a fixed size. And how large it is depends on how the network is smooth. How small it is depends on how bad the network is congested. And the quantity CWND here limits the number of bytes there can be between the last byte sent to the last byte act. Last byte act. So green here are counting the bytes that have been sent and have been act. So the last byte act is the last screen. Yellow here are the packets sent, or the bytes sent but not yet act. So last byte sent is here, the last yellow. So last yellow, okay, subtracting the number of the last screen. That means the number of yellows. Okay, so CWND here, it's the number of yellow bytes there can be. Last, so we say TCP's congestion control is done by controlling the sending rate or changing the sending rate to discover what is the right one. We already mentioned earlier that is actually implemented by changing the window size, changing the congestion window size, because the sending rate is essentially the congestion window size divided by RTT, because within a round trip time we can only send these many bytes,
And that takes us to the big quiz this semester. In fact, this is one of the most popular quiz. Okay, so for the stage one, all of you will participate, but each team you just need to get one of you guys giving a bit. Okay. Oh, okay. Wei Xiang will be joining. Yeah, by the way, for those who will be joining in through Google Meet, make sure that you probably mute the other channel, the YouTube channel. Otherwise, you might hear echo, or we might hear echo. Okay. Or, I guess Wei Xiang is probably just trying out the Google Meet session. By the way, for stage one, it's not necessary that you join the Google Meet session. Okay. But for stage two, then you do. And for stage one, let's focus on stage one. How about that? Okay. All of you will be a contestant. Okay. So, and by the way, welcome to The Price is Right. So this is Polly's favorite game show, right? Growing up. So essentially, the contestants will try to estimate the price of an item. So this is in stage one, many teams compete. Okay. And so all of you will be invited to compete. And only one of you will represent the whole team to bid. Okay. And be careful. Be careful. When you are guessing the price, you want to guess such that it's not exceeding the actual price. Okay. If it's higher, then even though you might be closer, but you will not be considered to enter stage two. Okay. So you want to come up with the price that's just below the actual price. Okay. All right. Are you ready? And we are now starting to bid the first item here. Okay. And by the way, you guys want to think carefully. Once you bid, you cannot edit the price. Okay, you cannot edit your estimation, because otherwise, Polly will have trouble tracking. Okay, because usually, what you can do is after Polly announce the actual price, you come off to change the estimation. In order to make sure that the estimation is authentic. It's not an estimation after changing. So once you're sure what is the price, what is your estimation, type it up. And after you type it up, no change, no editing. All right. So the first item is, please go to the Slack space and on channel week 10, quiz 26. You see the first item, okay, for stage one. What is this? This is 100 of these disposable face masks. Okay, so it's very appropriate to purchase an item like this. Okay, so this has 3 layer of filters. Okay, so super strong protection and all blacks. Okay, good. You have some 3 minutes to discuss with your teammates and come up with the estimation. And you would bid in NT dollars. So Polly will be timing, so no worry. Okay, 20 seconds left. Ten seconds. All right, time up. Okay, so I think last second I get bits from team 10 and team 14. And guys, you know what? You guys all overbid. Okay, so here's what we are gonna do. Try to bid again. So far, I see the lowest price, the lowest bid is Howard, 300. This is high. Okay. So these 100 black 3-layer mask are on sale. Okay, these couple days. Okay, the price is even lower than 300. So you have 1 more minute. Change your bid. Okay, definitely below $300. I mean NT dollars. Okay, do it over. You have 1 minute. 30 seconds left. $15 seconds. Oh, time up. Okay, so we have 3 teams here rebidding. All right, let's see. Okay, last second from team 14. All right, so just 4 teams rebidding. Okay, sorry, you guys, the rest of you guys, you are late. Okay, you know what? Let me announce the true price. The true price for the mask. Give me a second. Ah, I see. But Keke, try next time instead of editing. Okay. So actually type up new, because otherwise I don't know whether you edited or not. Okay, let me see. So Xuehan is not re-editing. So I guess team 3 changed to 249. Howard changed to 199. And Zhao Qi changed to 239. Okay, Doris did not rebid. And Keke changed to 250. All right, good. I guess that's all. The true price is 231. Okay, so let's see which one is the closest. I see Yo Yu very close. 230. Who else? Oh, 239, just a little bit too high. Yeah, I think 230. I think it's Yo Yu who won the bid. No. I actually got it from Amazon. So this was the original price because it's on sale. Okay, so let me post the actual price in US dollar, and you can do the currency currency conversion yourself. It's actually very cheap. Okay. So this is a very special offer from Amazon. It is actually $7.89 in US dollars. So I kind of converted to NT dollars. And 231 is about what it cost in Taiwanese dollars. Okay, so it's really affordable. Okay, really great CP ratio. Okay, so guess what? Yo Yu, team 14, you enter the second stage. Okay, so team 14, are you ready? You need to join the Google Meet. I think you have 3 team members. So you want to definitely have good communication with your teammates. And among the 3 of you, one of you need to come out and play stage 2. Okay, because only one of you play stage 2. Otherwise, it gets really messy. All right, so you guys have like 1 minute to decide who try to call in to Google Meet. And as the one calling in on Google Meet, you need to also mute your YouTube session and focus on the Google Meet session. All right, and the rest of you guys, there's another chance. Okay, so stand by. Yeah, 47% off, right? Really nice deal. Oh, Catfish would like to do it. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's see. Hi, Catfish.
Hi,
Hi,
can you
hi.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine. All right. Go, Catfish. I see your teammates are cheering you up. Really nice teammates you have there. Now, let me reveal the item for the second stage. It's an item that many of us are looking to purchase. Okay, so this is very hard to find, and not to mention on sale for a price that you need to guess. Okay, so this is, let me post it on Slack. There you go. This is what? Yeah, this is the GeForce RTX 3080. This is one of the scarcest merchandise there are, right? It's got 12 gigabyte memory, right? And it's made by EVGA. There's no way we find a 3080 from ASUS or Gigabyte anymore. Okay, so EVGA managed to manufacture some of these, and they're on sale. All right. Okay, now, are you ready, Catfish? Because you have only 30 seconds. Okay. In this 30 seconds, if you guess a price that's too high, Polly will say too high, so you need to drop your guess. If your guess is too low, lower than the actual price, Polly will say too low, then you need to raise your guess. But you know what? If you have guessed, Polly say too high before, right? You don't want to guess a value, a number that's higher than that. Okay? All right. You have 30 seconds.
Okay.
And hey, guys, to guess the exact price right in 30 seconds is very hard. In the history of Introduction to Computer Network Poly session, only one team managed to make it. It was last semester. Okay.
So I have to guess it in English.
Yes, you have to. That makes it even harder, right? So, but hey, think about doing it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's almost like 12,345. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Let's start.
Start now.
Yes, yes.
And 35000.
Too high.
30000.
Too high.
25000.
Too low.
28000.
Too low.
28999.
Too low.
29500.
Too low.
29999.
299 too high. I'm sorry. Time is up. Okay. But you know what? There's another chance. Okay. Catfish, well done. So your team, team 14, all of you gets at least 5 extra points. Okay, for participation in YouTube. And this is actually in addition to the 5 points you will be getting normally. Okay. In addition to the 5 quota you'll be getting normally. All right, good. Catfish, thank you for your participation. It's actually very, very close. Let me reveal the final result. And you will see also, wow, this is great deal from Amazon. Okay, let me reveal the actual price. And this is translated into Taiwanese dollar. And this is an actual item on sale. Okay, so if you're looking to buy one, definitely go to Amazon. Okay, so, and hey, I don't have Ye-Pei from Amazon, but look at this. This is a real deal on Amazon. $300 off. Only $999.99 US dollars. That's less than 30,000 NT dollars. Okay.
It's cheap.
Very cheap, guys. If you're looking for buying one, go there. All right, thank you, Catfish. Now
Thank you.
now we enter the second round. Okay, guys. And Catfish, I think feel free to hang up for now. Okay, that way you can follow from the YouTube channel. All right, let's check out the second item. Good. So we are back to stage 1. Okay, so all of you can participate. Yeah, definitely consider buying one. All right, guys, second opportunity. What do we have here? These are tissue papers, okay, and smaller packs for business use. But there are how many packs? I think 24 packs. Okay, so inside each pack there are 160 sheets. Okay. So each pack has a pair, and inside each pack there are 160 sheets. All right. Similarly, you have 3 minutes. Okay, so get your teammates and try to guess what the price is. No editing, please. Okay. If we need to rebid, if you guys all overbid again, if we need to rebid, guess again. Okay, post it as another entry. All right. Let's start the clock. 3 minutes. All right, team 4. I think you guys know somehow where to find the item. Very interesting. Oh, team 4 changed to 411. Okay, 410. Oh, but then you have the same price as team 12. Well, in case you guess the same price and that is the closest price under the actual price, then we'll go to the sudden death round, okay? All right, 5:30, 5:20. All right, 10 seconds left. And time up. Okay. Well, you know what? Generally, you guessed a little bit too high. Let me see. Okay. I think it's better that we rebid everything again. Rebid again. okay? Generally too high, except for team 14, okay? Because team 14 already did the first round. So I would suggest that we rebid, okay? For the second item, please rebid, okay? 289 is below the actual price, but all you guys' bids are too high. All the rest of you guys' bids too high, okay? Let's redo it. Yeah, sorry, Team 14. The fun is for everyone, all right? And so why don't we give 20 seconds? Okay, post it as a new entry, please. Maybe 20 seconds is a little bit too short. How about 45 seconds? Okay, Team 15, change the bid to 300. Howard changing to 312 and 340 from Huixing. Ten seconds. Okay, you guys' guess are all really close. 3, 2, 1, time up. All right. Okay, good. So 340, 319, 311. Huh, you guys seem to come up with certain strategy. Interesting. 310. And Howard 312. Wow. Okay. 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 All right. Now let me reveal the actual price. You know what? It's really an item on sale, but on Amazon, but it's Amazon Japan. Okay, so the conversion is actually coming from NT dollar to Japanese dollar instead. Okay. And for your information, Japanese dollar is relatively very cheap to Taiwanese dollar. The original price was 1,755 yen. And so after conversion to Taiwanese, it's Taiwanese dollar, it's 386. Okay. Let's see which one is the closest. I think Doors, Team A is very close, 340. 330, Team 4 is also close. 12 is close, Team 12 close. Yeah. Right, and Team 14, 289. So I guess it's Doris, Team 8, okay, winning stage 1 this time. Okay, good. Team 8, I guess there are also 3 of you. Okay, so now you have a minute and discuss among yourself and who's going to compete in the second stage. And 12? Let me see. Oh, you are also 340. Ah, I see. Okay, my bad. I did not. I probably scroll a little bit too fast. Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. 340? Oh, yeah. Actually, there are several teams that are 340. No? No, 330. 340. Team 12. Yeah, that's why. I was a little bit. Yeah, I thought 340, I've seen it before. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Team 12 is also 340. Then, hey, Team 8 and Team 12, you guys will run into the we'll do a sudden death round. Okay, now, so I'm glad that I am well prepared. There's one more item for you guys to do the sudden death stage 1. All right. And it's this item here. Yeah, it's the Apple Watch charger. Okay, it's not original Apple, but it's a Apple certified. Okay, and it's a fast charger. Okay. All right, so you have 3 minutes. Well, actually, no, we probably don't need all that much time. So how about just 1 minute? Okay, only Team 8 and Team 12 will get the prize. I mean, other teams can try to participate, okay, but we are here to decide between Team 8 and Team 12 who enters stage 2. All right, so let's start the clock. 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. All right, time's up. Oh, we only get a bid from Team 12. You know what? Okay, all too high. All too high. So you'll do it again, but this time we have only 30 seconds. And let the clock begin. 30 seconds. Try again. These are way too high. 1,000, 3,000, way too high. Time up. Okay, Team 12, 755, 555, still too high. All right, one more time, because we need to figure out which one is closer. And this time, okay, we'll do this. Even if you are high, the one that is closer survive the sudden death. All right, you can guess high. Okay, you can guess high, but the one that is closer, okay, gets to survive sudden death. And we'll have another 20 seconds to do the bidding, and let the time begin. Five, 3, 1, time up. All right. Okay, good. So let me show the final answer. Good, we finally have winners. Charger. The charger is also on sale in an incredible low price. Okay, after conversion to Taiwanese dollar, it's only 225. The actual price is only $7.63. Okay, and the winner is Team 12. Hooray! All right, so Team 12. Showtime. So discuss among the, I think there are also 3 members, the 3 of you, and you guys need to send one to join the Google Meet session and guess the big item, okay, in stage 2. Congrats, Team 12. Okay, so with that, Team 12, all members get 5 points, participation points already. Okay. All right. I guess Hui Xing was sent to participate. Okay, good. Hui Xing, you might want to turn the YouTube channel audio off when you're working on.
Hi, Polly.
Hi, finally I hear your voice. That's very sweet. Okay. I guess, hey, most students entering stage 2 get really, really excited. If you are calm, you should be okay. All right. So let me show you the second item for stage 2. Yeah, it's also an item that's very much wanted. Look at this. This is the Xbox Series X. Okay, 1 terabyte. Do you play game? No.
Seldom.
Oh, poor you. I hope your teammates will be helping on the side. Hope you have some other channels you can communicate. So you have like 30 seconds to prepare for this. Okay, after 30 seconds, we'll start counting time and you will start guessing.
Okay.
So this is Xbox X Series 1 terabyte. Okay, and it's backward compatible with all earlier versions of Xbox. Okay, and this is true 4K gaming. That means they have a good GPU inside, probably something that's comparable to 3080. All right, and I think in Taiwan you cannot buy one using the official price. It's always the skimmer price. Okay. All right, so 30 seconds up, and now we enter the second stage. All right.
Start now.
Then give me a second. When I hit start here, then we start. Okay.
Okay.
And let me count down. 3, 2, 1, start.
20,000.
20,000, too low.
30,000.
Too high.
25,000.
Too high.
22,000.
Too low.
23,000.
Too low.
24,000.
Too high.
23,990.
Too high.
239.
Sorry, the times is up. But you know what? Although you don't get 20 points extra, but how about keep trying and guessing until you get it right, right?
Oh,
so now you have 23,999 too high, 23,000 too low. Now go on. What is the next guess?
23990.
That's too high.
23500.
Too high.
23300.
Too low.
23400.
Too high.
23350.
Too low.
23370.
Too high.
23360.
Too high.
23355.
Too low.
23357.
Too low.
23359.
Too high.
23358.
Bingo. Bingo. Yay. Yay. And for that, for doing that, you, Hui Xing, you receive 5 extra points.
Thank you, Polly.
And for demonstrating that you actually try to judge and do, hey, something like binary search in the later half, because you finally am a little bit calm. There is no time pressure, right?
Yeah.
Good, very good. Thank you, Hui Xing, for participating.
Thank you.
All right, and let me show the true price. And you know what? And it's also time to take a break, guys. Okay. Was it fun? Yeah, I think at least for Team 12, Team 8, and I think earlier Team 14, right? It was definitely fun. So the true price is 2335A, and this is really one can find for sale on US is Amazon. All right. Good. So, and in the meantime, we take a break and come back in 10 minutes. We'll talk about the rest of TCP's congestion control, how TCP is guessing the sending rate, okay, from the signals, okay, coming from the network. Okay. Break time. All right, welcome back to the lecture. So we talk about TCP additively increase the window size when X are coming back as normal, right? Because these X will be working like a signal coming from the network saying that, hey, the network is fine. Your data goes and X comes back, no congestion. But TCP dropped the window size to half of the original size, right, when it detects a packet loss, right? So in a way, TCP is treating packet loss as a signal from the network that, hey, it might be a little bit busy, okay, quite a bit of traffic going on in the network, okay? Similar to what Polly was doing, right? When Polly is saying too high, oh, you drop your guess. When Polly is saying, low, you can actually guess higher, then you raise your guess. Okay. I see that towards the end of Team 12's guessing, it's a little bit like the binary search, right? Between high and low, the bound, you guess the middle point, right? Between the high and low, you guess the middle point. That is in fact the fastest way to get you to the right guess. Okay, but you see that the changes of the guesses also fluctuates a lot. Okay, so what TCP is doing here is, hey, the internet is very likely getting busy easy. Okay, so maybe when we are increasing, let's be a little bit gentle. So only increase additively slower, but when we drop, we can go a little bit more aggressive. Okay, so both of these options, additive increase and multiplicative decrease, is trying to be friendly to the network congestion as much as they can. All right. Now, one can argue, why don't we do additive decrease? Well, it's a little bit conservative dropping. So multiplicative decrease then is actually better, okay, in case there's a congestion. Okay. So AIMD, there's a reason that TCP changes the window size this way. Now, next video, okay, is introducing this thing called slow start. Okay. AIMD is how TCP changes the window size when TCP connection is in the steady state. Okay. At the beginning of a TCP connection, we actually use this mechanism, the slow start mechanism. So let's hear out how it works.
Something that's a little bit unusual in TCP's process of discovering the proper sending rate is this. There's an initialization phase. The mechanism is called slow start. What it does there is, when TCP is just starting, the connection is just starting, the initial window size is set to 1 MSS. And the increasing pace is no longer AIMD, it's actually what? Doubling the window size per round trip time. AIMD is what? Increasing the window size by 1 MSS per round trip time. Wow, so that's actually quite aggressive, isn't it? You are correct, because the window size in slow start, in the initialization phase, is going to increase exponentially. Because every round trip time, you double the size. Every round trip time, you double the size. As opposed to in AIMD, every round trip time, you increase by 1 segment size. Every round trip time, you increase 1 segment size. Right, so yeah, the initial rate, very, very small. 1. So slow start is actually referring to, the initial window size being, the lowest possible. But the increasing rate is actually exponentially fast. Okay, so this is actually the part of design in TCP's congestion control that can confuse you a little bit. It's slow start, but it's actually increasing really, really fast, right? So the intuition says this is fast start, in fact. Yes, you are correct, but the slow here actually meant the window size, the initial value, is a very low value. The last point I want to make is this. Doubling window size per round trip time in the implementation is actually done this way. Window size is incremented by 1 after receiving an ACK. So look at the illustration I have on the right. A is the sender, B is the receiver. A originally in slow start having a CWND of 1 MSS. That data packet will go, receiver here will send an ACK back. Host A here being the sender, receiving an ACK will do what? CWND plus plus and the increment is 1 MSS. As a result, it was originally 1, now 2. Therefore, sender here can send 2 segments in MSS. So these will go and generate 2x coming back. Sender here receiving 2x will be calling this line twice, therefore 2 will become 4. Similarly, 4x comes back here, and this will be called 4 times, therefore the window size becomes 8. And the next round, 16. You see an exponential increase here, right, by a factor of 2. So overall, TCP's process of discovering the proper sending rate is more like this. This is a TCP connection, and this is the beginning of it, and this is the end of it. So there's this initialization phase where we run the slow start mechanism, okay, and the behavior of the window size is AIMD. And then in the steady phase, we run this congestion avoidance mechanism. The behavior of the window size is AIMD.
All right, so steady state, AIMD, slow start state, what? EIMD, exponential increase. So don't be fooled by the name slow start. It's actually increasing fast. What the network engineers meant by slow start is that the initial window size is 1. That is very slow. All right. Now let's look at how TCP adjusts the sending window size after detecting losses. You know what? There are actually 2 ways of detecting losses, if you recall.
And you heard probably Polly saying, yeah, TCP increases the window size when there are no losses and decrease when there's a loss. But if you think a little bit carefully, in TCP, the sender detects a packet loss 2 ways. One is, yeah, there's a timer set when the packet is sent. When the timer expires, the sender there discovers the packet is lost and then retransmit. But in TCP, there's something also called fast retransmission. We are retransmitting packet faster right after receiving triple duplicate X. So there are 2 ways in TCP sender to detect the packet loss. In fact, in TCP's congestion control, we are also adjusting the window size differently depending on which type of loss is being detected. First is a loss being detected by sensing the timer timeout. We then set the window size all the way down to 1 segment, and then grow exponentially just like in slow start state. After a certain threshold, then grow linearly just like in the congestion avoidance state. On the other hand, when the loss is detected by seeing 3 duplicate X, then the congestion window is actually cut to only half the current window size, not all the way down to 1. And then grows simply linearly. So this is very much like what? AIMD. Yeah, you're actually right. When the loss is detected this way, the TCP sender is actually dropping the sending rate to half and then continue on with the AIMD, therefore, into the CA state, the congestion avoidance state. So the TCP connection here is still in the steady state. But if the loss is detected this way, it appears that the TCP thinks this is actually a more serious scenario, therefore the window size needs to go all the way down and then being reinitialized, okay, until the window size grow to a certain degree. Then we do the AIMD like in the steady state. Now, based on your intuition, which loss of these 2 you think is more serious? Yeah, I know, it's quite obvious, right? Because in this case here below, at least you get to receive 3 duplicate X. That indicates the network is still capable of sending 3 packets through. Therefore, you get 3 X back. But this scenario here, it's top. You don't get any data through, you don't get any data back, or you get only 2 duplicate X back. So, more serious. Therefore, windows drop down even more aggressively, all the way down to 1, and that's restart, reinitialize again. Now, the only thing that you thought, interesting is this. So we have not yet defined what is this threshold yet, because it seems that this threshold is there to determine how a TCP connection there start from the initial state, entering the steady state. So that is also the point to decide. When do we change the mechanism from slow start to congestion avoidance? First point to add to the slide is this. The threshold in TCP's implementation is called SS thresh. You guess. S and S here actually meant S and S here means slow start. Second point, the whole mechanism differentiating how we adjust the window size depending on the type of loss being detected is implemented in TCP Reno. Yeah, I know. TCP designers is a bit weird. They like to call different versions of TCP with names instead of using a number. So Reno there is essentially the version 4, TCP version 4. There's another version of TCP, TCP Tahoe. So this is actually the first generation. So what's being designed there is this. The loss, no matter whether it's detected by timeout or 3 duplicate acts, window size is adjusted the same way, always down to 1. That means Tahoe there is very, very conservative. Whenever there is a loss detected, the sender always go down to the lowest rate possible. And that might be a bit too slow based on the experience, therefore, in the second generation. The designers begin to say, hey, maybe in this easier case, okay, at least we see 3 data go and then 3 duplicate acts back. It's not so bad. Let's only cut the window size to half and then remain in the congestion avoidance phase.
All right, now let's hear out how the SSS thresh is used further. Okay, it's actually the point we transition from the slow start to congestion avoidance.
So what I'm illustrating here is TCP Tahoe's window size changing over time. At the beginning, window size set to 1 segment, and then slow start, right? This is the initial phase, and therefore you see exponentially fast growth, the concave curve, and this is going to go until we hit the slow start threshold. That's when we exit slow start and enter congestion avoidance, where we do AIMD, so additive increase. At this point, we detect a packet loss due to 3 duplicate acts. But in Tahoe, we just drop the window size back down to 1 again, and then slow start again, a concave curve, until we hit the threshold again, and then AIMD again in the congestion avoidance state. Now, what's in Reno is, however, when we detect 3 duplicate acts, a packet loss, what we do is more simple, where we just reset the window size to half of the original window size, which is 12. So we set it to 6, and then continue to grow the window size AIMD, such as in the congestion avoidance state. Now, by looking at this plot, you also see, hey, we are switching from the slow start to the congestion avoidance state using the threshold. At the beginning, the SS thresh is initialized to a fixed value. But afterwards, you see the SS thresh is also changing. And when we detect a loss, when we need to reset the congestion window size down to some lower value. When that happens, when the packet loss is detected, the threshold here is also reset. And the value is set to exactly half of the window size before the packet loss is detected. So SS thresh is set to half of the window size just before the loss event. So in the TCP Reno's case, it's convenient. We set the threshold to the half of the window size, and we also set the window size to half of the earlier window size and continue to grow like this. So it's also saying passing the threshold and then this connection in the congestion avoidance state. If we go back to the original question asking, when do we switch from the slow start state to the congestion avoidance state, or from exponential increase back to linear increase? And so it's very clear. Once the congestion window hits the SS thresh, the slow start threshold. Because if you look at this, slow start, passing the thresh, growing linearly. Slow start, passing the threshold, growing linearly. And in this case, we see 3 duplicate acts, therefore we drop the window size to half, and we drop the SS thresh also to half. But hey, as long as it's beyond the thresh, the window size grows linearly, then the design does not conflict, okay, with other parts of TCP's congestion window adjustment mechanism.
Right, so SS thresh is in a way an indication of that beyond this point, we want to increase the window size a little bit conservatively. Okay, and before that, we could increase exponentially fast, which is very fast. All right. So SS thresh is also dynamically adjusted, and it indicates half of the maximum window size we managed to achieve previously. All right, finally, we can now take a look at the finite state machine of TCP, particularly the congestion control mechanism's finite state machine. And let's focus on the slow start part of the finite state machine first.
Now let's summarize TCP's congestion control. And what I'm going to show you is actually a little bit more formal using a finite state machine, and you see how TCP sender here implements, okay, the mechanism of adjusting the window size. The full finite state machine has two states. Okay? Each represents, different phases of TCP's congestion control in the connection. The first is the initial phase, the slow start phase. Initialization transition here is actually initializing the congestion window size to one segment, and then initializing the SS thresh to 64 kilobytes. I think this number could differ from operating system to operating system, and then initializing the duplicate account. Right, so that was clear. Let's move to the normal transitions. There are four of them. If you look a bit closer, the top two here are actually the transitions handling the cases where the sender receives X. The bottom two are the cases where the sender detects losses. So this one here is actually detecting a loss due to receiving 3 duplicate X. This transition here is actually detecting a loss due to timeout. Now let's talk about each of these transitions a bit more. So number one here is if we receive a new ACK. Now according to slow start mechanism, the congestion window needs to be incremented by one segment, and that's it. So duplicate ACK count is reduced to 0 just so to clear all the duplicate ACK counts, because now we are receiving a new ACK, so we should definitely clear the dupe ACK count. And at this point, then we employ the rest of the sender's mechanism, the RDT part of it, so that we would slide the window over and then send new segments. And how much we send out there depends on the result of the congestion control mechanism working. And next, transition number 2, this is when we receive a duplicate ACK. So what we do here, of course, increment the counter for duplicate ACK. And what do? The congestion control power says no more, right? Unless the count here reaches 3. That triggers transition 3. Okay? Now in RDT of TCP, this event is going to also trigger fast retransmission. So in a way, when there's dupe ACK count equaling 3, then we do something for the congestion control and then some more for the reliable data transfer. Now in the congestion control, what we do is setting the SS thresh to half the window size to half of the current window size, which is now the value of SS thresh. And then reset the duplicate ACK count. And then we can begin doing the RDT, which is to fast retransmit packets. Now the number of packets we can send now then is determined by the congestion window size we just set aside earlier. Transition 4, this is also packet loss, but this is packet loss detected by having a timeout. So in this case, the congestion control says we need to set SS thresh to half of the window size, and the window size all the way down to 1 packet, and then reset the dupe ACK count. And then from here, the RDT mechanism, which is what? To retransmit the missing segment. And because this time, in this case, congestion window is set to 1 packet, therefore we only retransmit 1 segment. No matter how many packets have been sent, how many yellow packets or yellow bytes are there in the sliding window.
And next, the congestion avoidance side of the finite state machine.
Done with the slow start state. Now, let's move to the congestion avoidance state. So the first thing is, hey, when do we transition from SS to CA? Yep. When the congestion window size is larger than the SS thresh. And that takes us to the congestion avoidance state, where we see again, transition new ACK, transition duplicate ACK, transition dupe. ACK count equal 3. And hey, where's the timeout state? Well, the timeout state is actually here, right? Because when we're in the condition avoidance state, timeout is actually series packet loss. We reset the condition window down to one end. Yeah, start from the soul start. Increment the window size exponentially. Start from the soul start. So we need to do a state change in this finite state machine, going back from CA to SS. And otherwise, all these the same, just like timeout event. Similarly, for dupe ACK count equaling 3, all the same, all the same. Okay. Actually, similarly for dupe ACK, just incrementing the duplicate ACK count. But the last one, new ACK, wow, we need to be careful here, all right? Because in SS versus CA, when we receive a new ACK, meaning no loss, we actually increase the window size differently. So yes, this is why you see here. In SS in soul start, we're incrementing the window size by 1 segment per ACK. Here, we need to increase the window size by 1 segment per round trip time. So be very, very careful here. This is receiving an ACK, not, hey, checking and we see that there's 1 round trip time elapsed. So we need to figure out exactly the amount to increment to the window size so that after 1 round trip time, the increment will be exactly. And how do we do that? Think this. If the window size is CWND and the packet size is MSS, how many packets will be out in one round trip time? Yeah, this many, is it? And after all these packets come back in, the increment of the condition window should be 1. That is saying we cannot be incrementing the window size by MSS. We need to increase this much. Okay? After this amount of packets received, then we add to this value. So we need to divide this value by these. That would say this is the amount we need to increment per packet. So if we rewrite this formula here, it's what? MSS multiply, so MSS multiply reverse of CWND to MSS. So after reversing, MSS at the top and then CWND at the bottom. And that is TCP conditions control sender's finite state machine in a simplistic way. You see here, let me summarize again. Yeah, so these are the events receiving new ACK. These are the events handling timeout. These are the events handling receiving the duplicate ACKs and it's reaching the count of 3.
Right, so that's the finite state machine of TCP's condition control entirely. So in quiz 27 here, I'm actually showing the entire finite state machine on the left side of the slide. Okay. And now let's consider a scenario. We have 2 hosts, host A and host B. Host A here is the data sender. Host B is the receiver and the ACK sender. Okay. Let's say host A start with this situation. Condition window size equals 3 MSS and the SS thresh is A MSS. Okay. MSS, by the way, is the maximum segment size. So usually people use this term to represent the packet size. Remember, TCP actually count data by bytes. Okay, so that means host A, the window size is 3 multiply the packet size by bytes, the total number of bytes allowed in the condition window. Okay, and SS thresh is A number of packets, A MSS number of bytes. Okay, and the situation is this: host A here having 3 MSS being the condition window size. Okay, so you'll be then sending all the bytes, right, from byte 0 to byte 3 MSS minus 1. Let's assume that each packet, that's enforced each packet, the packet size is exactly MSS bytes. Then what do? Host A will be sending 3 packets. Each packet, 1 MSS large. Okay, what will be the sequence number for the first packet? 0, right? What will be the sequence number for the second packet? 1 MSS. The third packet, 2 MSS. Okay. What will be the ACK sequence number in the first ACK? Well, the first ACK will be what? The last byte in the first packet plus 1. So it will be what? 1 MSS. Okay. Second ACK, the sequence number 2 MSS. Third ACK, 3 MSS. Okay. Now, the question is this. So Q1S, in case A value equals 6. SS thresh is actually higher, right? So what would host A change the condition window size to when it receives the first ACK? So what would the value of B be? Okay. And what would the value of C be receiving the second ACK? What would the value of D be in case that it's receiving the third ACK? So Q1 is the easier case. If you follow, okay, so if A is 6, condition window size is 3, we are still in the slow start state. How do we increment the window size when we receive an ACK in slow start state? You see that that's easy. Q2, however, Q2 says, SS thresh, the A value now equals 3. Oh, this is the case we are in the condition avoidance state. So what would the values of B, C, D be when it receives Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3? The calculation is a little bit different, isn't it? All right. So this is a quiz that you might want to review the entire finite state machine. And sometimes for some of you, you might want to go back to check out how the window size is increased in SOSTAR versus condition avoidance state in order to do this. So you guys will be given 10 minutes to think this through and tell me, Q1, when A equals 6, what are the value of B, C, D? Q2, when A is 3, what are the values of B, C, and D? Okay, let's go ahead and start. 10 minutes. Okay, I see team 5 typing for Q2. Yeah, so that is actually not exactly correct. Okay, Wei Xiang, Q2 is not exactly correct. I'm glad that you try to type out the detail. That way we can discover what are the misconceptions. So B is fine, but C is not. Let's see, 怀智 is Huai Zhi, yours is not exactly correct, I think. Okay, the second digit is not right. Yeah, so team 5 and team 7. No, try again. Very nice try though. Yeah, so you see that you are not really getting it yet. Let's see, Yun Tong's. Okay, Q2. Good, very good. 3 plus 1 over 3, that's 10 over 3. This is right. Oh, this is right. Is C correct? You know what? This is not quite. Okay, Cai Tong, think again. I think team 5 and team 3. Okay, you're assuming the condition window size is still 3, but no, condition window size is already changed to B. And so when the host A is receiving the second egg, the condition window size they need to do the calculation on is already different. It's no longer 3. Very good. Okay, Intong, very good try. Okay, otherwise you won't know that what's missing, right? Let's see, Sean. 3.63. You know what? I think Sean got it right. Although that there's no detailed formula, but 3.36 is also what Polly gets. But 3.90, if you actually omit all the values subsequently, yes. But if you try to take the value, if you try to round it up, okay, to the value, then it should not be 3.9. But Xiang, I think you got it. Great. You are the first one getting it correct. Okay, extra point here. Very good. Let's see Yo Yu. I think you're team 14 now because you guys did very well in quiz 26. So Q1 4, 5, 6. I think this is very straightforward. You guys all get it right. Let's see Q2. B, 10 over 3. C, love it, right? 10 over 3 MSS plus 3 over 10 MSS. Exactly. And that is 3.63 MSS. Okay, D, therefore, because 10 over 3 plus 3 over 10, that is 30 over 109. Yeah, so you get 30 over 109, the condition window size right now. plus the inverse of the condition window size right now. Yes, that gets you 3.9. But if you round up from the third digit behind, then it rounds up to 3.91. Okay, this is good. Very good. Okay, good to see that you guys are being careful. All right, 3.33, 3.63. Yeah, 3.90A, which is 3.91. Very good. Yeah, so the calculators are useful, right? So you see Polly was trying to do the calculation as well herself. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, let's see. There you go. There you go. Okay, so Wei Xiang, you've got it right this time. And Huai Zhi, there you go. Very good. Cai Tong, okay, so Cai Tong might need some time to update. Okay, I think it's okay. All right, so I think most of you get the idea. Good, and let's move on. Okay, there's actually one more bit of TCP's congestion control we have not yet talked about. So there is an optimization being designed called fast recovery to TCP dumps congestion control.
This finite state machine, now we walk through it. It's kind of symmetric and clean, relatively easy to track. This is also the mechanism implemented in the TCP Tahoe version 1. In TCP Reno, it's actually being extended. So the hack here is called the fast recovery. Now, this version looks substantially complicated, but can tell you this, hopefully makes it a bit simpler for you. The only transitions that are actually touched from the previous finite state machine are just these. In the case where the dupe at count reaches 3. So previously what we do is this. We set the SS thresh to half the window size and the window size to SS thresh. But now, okay, in Reno, we actually add 3 more segments to the window size. So we're actually a little bit more generous about setting the window size. And the logic behind this is, okay, if we receive 3 duplicate acts, that means the channel between the sender and receiver, there's enough capacity to allow 3 data segments to go. Although out of order, still triggering duplicate acts to come back, right? So 3 spaces, therefore generating 3 duplicate acts. So there's enough capacity, right? So we don't have to go all the way down or half down. So as long as, hey, we're seeing, duplicate acts, that means the capacity is still there. Maybe this is just a very, short-term congestion, short-term pre-congestion, okay, happening. So maybe we just keep, pushing a little bit more, and when this short-term outage or short-term congestion goes out, then we can come back to normal. So this is the logic behind the fast recovery mechanism here. So after adding 3 more segments to the window size, we enter the fast recovery state. And staying in the fast recovery state, we apply the same logic. As long as we receive a duplicate act, we continue to increment the window size. Because being able to receive a duplicate act is because we allow 1 data to go out. Right? So this is going to be repeated until what? Until we finally get a new act back, or all these extra packets we send out by being more generous about the window size somehow get dropped in the middle, meaning the congestion is not short-term. It's a bit more pathological, persistent. So we will run into timeout here. In this case, drop the window size to 1, feel free. But if it's in this case, it's okay. Then we can just reset the window size to normal, which is half of the window size, and then go back to the congestion avoidance states, and then begin linear increase again.
All right, and that takes us to the very last quiz and last part of the lecture today. So quiz 28. So what you see on the left of the slide is the entire finite state machine with the fast recovery optimization. Okay, the scenario is very much like the scenario in quiz 27, except that there's a packet drop. Okay, so I think that's the second packet being dropped. So subsequently, the third data packet will trigger a duplicate ACK, right? That is the first duplicate. And then the first packet coming back to the host A will generate 2 packets out. Okay, this is the case where the SS thresh is 6. So A there will be changed to a value. Maybe I can just say it now because it's the easy case, isn't it? The condition window size will be incremented by 1 MSS in start state. So A there will be 4. Now, having receiving a acknowledgement for packet 1, there's 1 slot to send packet. And now window size is 4, so there's 1 more slot to send packet. So receiving first ACK, host A there sends 2 more data out. These 2 data will be what? Generating 2 more duplicate ACKs. So ACK 1, the second ACK is still ACKing 1. The third and the fourth ACK all ACKing packet number 1. So what's going to happen, right, to the value of C and D? Okay. In fast recovery, particularly, the scenario can be a little bit complex. And by the way, if you recall those finite state machines for RDTs, as Polly mentioned, the only trick is to exercise, okay, so that you are familiar with the finite state machine. So fast recovery, when Polly was speaking in the video, very straightforward. Okay. Now with quiz 28, exercise. Okay. Pay attention to the finite state machine and try to find out what would the value of A be, and B, and C and D. Okay. So consider without fast recovery, what would be the value of A, B, C, D? And if you consider fast recovery, what will be the value of A, B, C, and D? We do have 5 minutes left, the 5 minutes lecture time left. If you can complete whole quiz 28, yeah, sure. Okay, but partial doesn't count. So take your time and get things right. So extra credit only goes to those who get everything right. Okay. So in a way, you want to go fast, but you also want to get some quality into your answer as well. Okay. I know it's hard, but usually practice makes perfect. So you know what? Polly will also be working on the quiz. Sometimes Polly write questions without knowing what the answers are really. Okay, let's work on this together. And so when the time is up for the lecture time, I would just say, good, everyone, feel free to go. So there are just 4 more minutes now. Let's concentrate and work on it. If it's a duplicate ACK, do we increment the window size? Interesting. We shouldn't. And 3 duplicate ACKs without fast recovery, what do we do? We drop the threshold to half the window size and retransmit the missing segment. Okay, and so C should be, and D should be. All right. Okay, so with fast recovery, things are a little bit complicated. A is still 4. B. In fast recovery mode, duplicate X still does not increase the window size, so B is the same. C. Okay, in fast recovery mode, when we have 3 duplicate X, we do SS thresh is half the window size, but the window size is the threshold plus 3. Okay. And then retransmit the segment. Alright, so we're just seconds from the end of the lecture. Good. Polly just managed to get the answer out. I think for you guys it might take a little bit longer. Well, oh, you know what? Wow, okay. Howard? Perfect. Yeah, many of you all got it right. Q2 still solving, okay. Yo is still solving Q2. Yeah, I think team 6 and 5 got it. Very good. Amelia. Ah, very close. Very close. Okay, but C is the SS thresh. SS thresh should be dropped to half the window size. So it should be half of B. But Amelia, great. I think you get at least the part that's SS thresh plus 3 MSS right. Okay, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Oh, no crying. It's okay. It's okay. Very good. I think many of you are following the lectures. You got it right. Very good. For the rest of you, it's okay. This is intended, as I said earlier, right below the slide. It's a take-home quiz. Okay, so you have all the time you have after the lecture to work on it. Good. Shang got it as well. Very good. Cai Tong, very good. All right, and that's all for today. Okay, go get lunch, and I see you next week. We are not quite yet done with TCP's condition control. We just have 3 more videos. Then we'll conclude the entire chapter 3. And so the second exam on Wednesday will cover the entire chapter 3 and section 2.6 that we did not cover in the previous exam. Okay. And you might want to start preparing starting this weekend. I actually see already some students reviewing the slides and the videos. That's great. That's great. All right. Team 12 also get it right. Good. So, bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, Shehan. Bye, Howard. Okay, bye, Jensen. Bye, Yujie. Bye, Sean. Amelia, great. This is perfect. Okay. Thank you for sharing the entire calculation you have there. Wonderful. Same for Doris. Yeah, bye. Bye, Catfish. Bye, Yushou. And bye, Jiahong. Okay, Warren. You're welcome. You're welcome. And bye, Wei Xiang. You did great with quiz 27. Yeah, first. Okay. All right, with that said, Polly is going to end the stream. Okay, ending.